For more business and finance news, we're joined in the studio by BFG Financial Services Managing Director, Suzanne Haddan. Welcome. Great to have you back in the studio.
It's great to be here. Thank you.
Let's start with the big issue that is dominating front pages and big discussion points, and that's around energy prices.
Yes.
And the pressure from Ukraine, which we've been covering, is continuing to bite here in Australia.
It's a huge issue for us because we actually export so much of our energy, our gas, and it's whether we'll be keeping more on shore to try and reduce these prices that are going to affect households' living expenses. It's quite a strain.
Yeah, this so-called trigger or mechanism, lever that can be pulled. How would that work? And it's not a panacea, is it?
No, and it has other implications because what message does it send to overseas markets when we start pulling back on our exports that we've promised and they're relying on? So it could possibly have a negative impact on our reputation as a reliable, solid trade partner for the overseas markets, while it would have a positive effect, of course, in the Australian market. And that's going to be the balancing that's going to be considerations for the new government. Quite a challenge.
Because the contracts have been baked in anyway for years now.
They have been baked in, and to pull this sovereign decision to change those agreements could be quite negative moving forward.
Suzanne, it's not just energy bills that we're going to be concerned about. Inflation's still around,
Yes.
which means, cost of living is continuing to go up. It's interesting that the Labor government is now pushing the Fair Work Commission to boost wages for low-paid workers, not just the minimum wage, but low-paid workers as well. Do you think this is going to be enough to kind of see us through the next few months or so?
Well, certainly the lowest paid are the ones that may well struggle the most. The issue is, how does that potential significant pay rise of 5.1%, if it occurs, flow through to those that aren't on quite as low pay? Because it's quite pegged if a certain group in a company get an increase, that it flows through to all levels in that group who their need might not be as great. But for low-income earners, and really many people, as you said, Fauziah, with their living costs, they have to sit down and take stock now. We need financial hygiene. And what that means is, I know it's boring, but you need to do a budget. Get onto the Money Smart government site, fill it in, know where your money's going. Also, I wanted to point out to viewers to go on some of the government sites. For example, New South Wales Services New South Wales, they have quite a lot of support there with subsidies and offsets, and these apply to most states in Australia, so you need to get in there and find out what you're entitled to.
Yeah, good point, yeah.
And also part of that is you can talk turkey with the companies that provide your energy, your power bills, your phone, all of those things, can't you? You can call and have those conversations.
You need to have those conversations. So certainly you've got to look at the expense side of the family budget and see where you can shave things But when you get into serious financial decisions, you need to have the discussions with those you owe money to. But I also want to point out that people need to also have a look at their income side and their mortgages. And the issue with mortgages is it's likely interest rates are going to go up. So you need to think now, if you can't cope with it, should you be fixing your home mortgage even if the rate's higher than the variable rate? For renters, there's a very tight rental market, not many vacancies. We're expecting rents to go up. So you need to think about negotiating there and maybe even getting a tenant, a friend to live with you. There's other things you can do.
Suzanne, we're just getting the wrap up, but I want to try to squeeze this in as quickly as possible. End of year tips. Where, tax is coming around.
Yes.
We need to get our shoeboxes out.
Oh, you certainly do, Fauziah. And use the My Deduction app on the ATO site. Let's remember, rapid tests have become tax deductible, but not just to you can't do it for sending your kids to school. It's about work, if you had to do it for work. Also with the deductions, people are far more interested in those than their income. Make sure you get on the ATO site for your career, whether it's a media, whether it's meat worker, it'll give you the list of deductions, so get in on that.
Fantastic. Always good to have you on the show. Thank you so much for being with us and coming into the studio.
It was great, thank you.
Suzanne Haddan there, thank you.